Hello my friends and welcome back to our continued blind let's play of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles Game 1 Adventures. My name is the FlightlessBird, this is your story-based gaming channel, and today on the band Speckled something, I forget the exact title, it's a doozy, that's for sure. We have the great Sholmes, hopefully telling us something useful. Yeah, that's probably not gonna happen. I think I said Sholmes. Sholmes. How you all doing today? Hope you all having a wonderful, fantastic, amazing, awesome day today. And did you find anything useful from it? Well, at 2 a.m. this morning, the majority of the entries are blank. Yeah, I mean, anyone with a brain and eyes can see that. Which means that there was nothing to report. Nothing unknown happened. So... Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. You truly are a student from the land of rising sun. You have been utterly blinded by it. Ha 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 ha. Sorry? Your logic, my boy, is inverted. Whatever do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? Whatever do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? I thought it was talking to me, not her. Well, I mean, she can interject, obviously. It's just, for some reason, my brain didn't think about that. Observe the other pages, and all shall become clear. It would seem the same crewman of stands sentry in the first-class passageway. And he has an almost religious practice of recording nothing report every half hour. Oh, okay. So the fact that there is nothing says something, because there should be at least entrance of nothing report during the time. Oh, he writes that in every 30 minutes? That is actually clever. How about that? He said something clever. Nothing to report. Precisely. Put simply, the seaman writes nothing to report when there was just that. And yet, the ship's log from last night is largely blank. He didn't even write nothing to report. Do you mean? Yes, there were circumstances afoot last night which led to the seaman being absent from his post. What kind of circumstances? What happened? That remains a mystery for now. But we can be sure something significant took place. So significant that caused the seaman to forget his regular habit of scribbling nothing to report in the log. These are important details. I will stake my life on it. You must log the ship's file in your mental file. Ship's log has been entered into the court record, a record kept by the crew assigned to first-class common area. There are virtually no entries from 2 a.m. until early this morning. Now, that deduction was worthy of a great detective. Yeah, he actually said something smart. Ah, you're starting to understand what my way is, I see. What makes Sholmes. Brilliance. Ha 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 ha. Oh, ouch. What is it? Are you hurt? Oh, don't worry yourself. I seem to be afflicted with a throbbing head this morning for some reason, nothing more. I've noticed it's not the first time that's come up, right? What does that mean? Well, my friends, until the next encounter. He's still singing himself. I can hear it as he wanders off down the passageway. Is something wrong, Dr. You seem lost in thought. It's just, well, I feel the same. Sorry? Yeah, it seems like everyone's having those head condition things, and I don't understand what it means. Ever since I woke up this morning, I've had something of a headache. A sort of continuous throbbing. Oh, you too? Yeah, what does that mean? And where do we go next? Back here, maybe? Ah, what's that? Apparently that was the right place to go. Okay. What's going on here? Shut down the engines immediately. Vessel sighted at quarter mile 4. Full stop. Hard to starboard. All hands brace for impact. What the? I think we're about to crash into another ship. What? I can't stand. Suzato-san, hold on to me. Oh! So cool how the entire scene was tilting. Suzato-san, are you right? Are you injured at all? Oh, by the way, I did notice that the load screen, when you boot from the main menu, it seems to always take the background of the scene that you save on. At least I think that's what's going on. And Intra pointed out, thank you so much, Intra, for everything, that the localization is not the problem. In the original version, we all spoke English. I don't understand that, but it is what it is. I think I'm fine. Thank you, Naruto-san. I was so cool with everything going sideways, though. It looks like we avoided a collision. I think... Yes, the ship has come to a stop. Oh my goodness. What about you, Naruto-san? Are you hurt? Is that how the ballerina got on board? We were all knocked out in the middle of the night. And we never noticed that another ship had kind of collided with us. Because I'm looking in the background and I could see the bookshelf is once again askewed. Are you hurt? No, I'm fine. Hello, is anyone in there? Shout if you need assistance. Oh, that sounds like... Inspector Hosonaga. Is that you in there? Naruto-san. Unbolt the door, quickly. What? The bolt? Look at that. Oh. That also explains the locked door mystery. When the ship turns, the doors lock. The door is bolted. Did you do that, Suzato-san? No, I didn't touch it. Well, that's strange. How did... And look at all the books. They're just like they were before again. Naruto-san, aren't you going to open the door and let in the inspector? I better tie this place up first. Our violent emergency stop had solved one mystery, at least in a very vivid way. But I knew what waited us on the other side of the cabin door would not be pleasant. I heard around, tidying up the cabin with a new sense of foreboding in my heart. Oh, to be continued? I was like 5 minutes away? Oh, come on. Oh. The nature of a blind Let's Play. Oh. Man, that sucks. 9th of January, Estes buried at Miss Pavlova's cabin. And we're still in an investigation, too. Somehow the door to the cabin we were in ended up bolted after we made an emergency stop. Suzato-san took a deep breath and then gently slid back the bolt. Yo, what are you doing in Miss Pavlova's quarters? And yes, thank you to the amazing community I have for pointing out. His first name is Biff. So even though the pun could be strong enough, his first name is Biff. So Beef Stroganoff still works. Ah, you both look hurt. Good. Yeah, we're fine. Thank you. What on earth happened? We heard something about how we were going to collide with another ship. Yes, it appears to have been a false report, though. Oh, how did that happen? There's a dense fog outside, so it's extremely difficult to see. Someone must have thought he saw a ship ahead. This person obviously triggered the alarm, and that's why we made an emergency stop. Everything is in chaos. Passengers are screaming. Crew are running everywhere. The first class is the only quiet part of the ship at the moment. Oh, I see. Someone triggered the alarm? Does that mean that someone pressed that button outside? Ah, you wicked intruder, dressed in black. You are the devil. Sorry? Me? I've been called a lot of things before, but devil is a first. You opened my traveling case. How could you? What? No, we didn't touch it. That's right, Miss Pavlova. It was already open when we came into your cabin. Inspector. Yes. Arrest this man. I know he did it. He is a criminal. Is it not enough that he has killed a man? Duh, and he is too as well. Fix pub is not steal chicken. Do you believe? What? Take him away. He's a trespasser as well as everything else. Stolen away, trespassing. Killing, she is right. You are devil. It doesn't look good, does it? There is cell below deck. Throw him in. Tomorrow we dock in Hong Kong. Then we instead do police. Wait, a cell? We only made it to Hong Kong in 2 weeks or so? I mean, I actually don't know how long it would take to go from Japan to England. I would imagine it would take a while though, right? But 2 weeks? Go to Hong Kong? Please, Inspector Osanaga, is there nothing you can do? This is a Russian vessel. I really have no jurisdiction here. At a last effort to appeal to the captain's good nature, I think I'm out of options. This is terrible. This is a real crisis. I've got to find a solution. Immediately. What are you doing? A weird bird. I just need to keep calm and focus on the task at hand, which is investigating. Don't touch my things. You want me to show you where cuttlefish hibernates? Hiya! Why are you flipping me upside down? Mr. Naruto, what do you think you're doing? Wow, everyone's attacking me. I was just trying to think she was my friend. Is there anyone who can help me out of this mess? So let me talk to just... Well, I don't know. They have new speech bubbles, even if they're probably not going to say anything helpful. Miss Pavlova, can I... Get out! Listen, I'm sorry that we stuck in here without your permission, but... Get out now! We just need to investigate here to help understand what happened to... What she said. Ugh, it's so used. She's not going to listen. I need to find someone who will. Please, just give me a little more time. I do nothing for you. Except show you way to ship's prison cell. Thanks, but no thanks. But I'm innocent. I didn't kill anyone. And trespassing and stowing away? Well, you know, sometimes life can lead you down some unusual avenues. And, well... Enough! You are guilty. Ship's cell is only place fit for you. Come on, there has to be someone. Some savior to rescue me from this. I can't believe we're relying on Sherlock. I mean, on Herlock. Sholmes. What the? What are you doing up there? And why are you wearing the tiara? Mr. Sholmes? Naturally, I was analyzing what the weight of 20,000 rubles would feel like on one's head. Have I not told you that as a detective, it is my business to know what other people do not? This isn't more fully my boy. Oh, no. Well, why are you hanging from that hook before then? This is obvious. To properly assess the weight of 20,000 rubles naturally, I was determined if it would bend that conceited-looking wall or golden wall so full of brag and belt. I never know whether to take this man seriously or not. You again, the great detective. Inspector, I confess I must be looking for you. I have something to report to you most urgently. Well, you might try looking for me somewhere other than a hook on the wall next time. What is to report? The speak! An urgent report from a great detective can mean but one thing. Yes. The case of the curious murder that took place last night here on this vessel, the steamship Burya, has been solved by me, naturally. Huh? Are you serious, or are you just pulling my leg? What? Really? Yes, I have eliminated all other possibilities. No other explanations exist. So allow me to illuminate all of your minds. I'm about to reveal my great detectives greatly admire great deduction to the case. You have solved it. Even Hedgehog understands this case. We all know who is responsible for killing student boy this morning when we found the criminal in the wardrobe. It is this stolen away, and he has handcuffs to prove it. I didn't do it. The trouble is, there doesn't appear to be anyone else who would have killed the victim. Because, as everyone knows, the cabin door was bolted shut from the inside. That means the culprit must be someone who was inside the cabin. Yes, it's what's called a locked room mystery in detective stories. Locked room! That is the point! The room was locked? Well, I can't deny that. There's no way the bolt could have been drawn across from outside the cabin, yet it just happened. You are all quite mistaken. The cabin next door is not a so-called locked room at all. What? Oh yes, there is another entrance. An entrance used last night by the culprit in order to get access to the cabin despite they bolted the door. What other entrance? We never discovered one. Why, it keeps open mouth at you even as we speak. The ventilator man. The ventilator? Gah ha 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 ha! You think this is funny? I cannot even put my arm through that hole. That's because your arms are as thick as tree trunks. You're suggesting that the culprit entered and left the victim's cabin through that tiny opening. It's not possible. But it is. And last night, the victim even witnessed the intruder in the act of passing through the ventilator. Mr. Sholmes, do you mean? Are you referring to the words Kazuma-sama wrote in his diary? Do we know of anyone who's super small, who's very athletic, who's very agile that could have slipped through the grate? I don't know why that didn't hit me sooner. Are you referring to the words Kazuma-sama wrote in his diary? 123, I can hear a faint whistling sound. 134, what looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. Precisely, my dear madam. What does it mean? What is a speckled band? The answer to that particular conundrum is in this very cabin. Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing? This is a distinct element, a danger, but fear not, I am ready. What I'm about to expose for you all to see will shock you to your core. Whew. Behold! Yeah! What the? Where did the snake come from? So wait. The animal wasn't a cat, it was a snake? Why is the snake on his head? Allow me to introduce you all to the band, the Speckled Band. The Speckled Band is a snake? A snake? Indubitably. Yeah, all the dots. Exactly. That was my reaction too. Huh? Mr. Sholmes, just one thing. Pray, what troubles you? Well, that snake isn't really speckled, is it? It looks more stripy, wouldn't you say? Yes, you're right. I think in this case, you'd have to call it the striped band. Wouldn't you? I just love how he's standing there with the snake wrapped around his face like, there's nothing out of the ordinary here. You will see and observe with distinction, however. Do you not think that is precisely the trap into which the culprit wishes you to fall? Oh my goodness, really? It's a trap? How exactly? I think perhaps it's time I explain the intricacies of my train of thought. That wouldn't be a bad idea. Are you ready, Miss Pavlova? I'm sorry for the young man who died, but that is all. His death has nothing to do with me. This whole thing is nothing to do with me. There are two conclusions I have drawn from the facts. Number one. Last night, your friend infiltrated the victim's cabin. Ah. And number two. The same friend who was responsible for the victim losing his life. No. She's turned as white as a bowl of rice again. Sholmes must be right. He's hit the nail on the head. This young woman's friend killed Mr. Asogi. No, because of... Okay, that was scary. It was a hit to the blow of his neck. It looks like he can't speak with that snake coiled around his head. I would advise as little movement as possible, Seaman. You wouldn't want the fangs of that long friend in your neck. And it wasn't poison either. So everyone, let us begin. Herlock Sholmes is proud to present the logic and reasoning spectacular. The game is afoot. Intruder's identity. Miss Pavlova, moments ago you claimed the following. His death has nothing to do with me. The whole thing has nothing to do with me. Yet you cannot deceive yourself. Yes, when you recall those horrid events, your aching heart smarts with pain. And it is that very pain that evidences your inextricable link to the victim's death. So, we ask, what was the nature of this intruder that stole into the victim's cabin on that portentous night? Why, naturally, it was a friend that which aborted the vessel, was it not? Ah, as I suspected, another telltale glance. Without doubt, your friend is the fighting serpent we see before us. And yet, the fact that leaves us in a quandary. The victim's written observations are in the night in question, that of a speckled band. whereas regrettably, the specimen's markings do not fit that description in any way. What explanation can we give, pray? What was the sight that fell upon the victim's eyes last night? No, don't look at me. This has nothing to do with any of this. Oh, but it does. You have the answer to this quandary even now, hidden behind your back. Yes, that's what you are trying, but failing to conceal. It can only be thick, soft skin. Really? Evidently, after the sudden horrible crime, this most deadly friend of yours shed its original skin, no? I don't know what you're talking about. Last night, through the ventilator visible in this cabin, your thick, speckled friend slid next door. Using the bell cord on the other side as a bridge, the serpent slightly descended into the victim's quarters. In the dim light, it appeared to the young gentleman who was about to lose his life as a speckled band. In summary, the nature of this friend of yours, which last night infiltrated the scene of the crime, is a Barbuda snake whose markings change each time it sloughs its skin. A snake so dreadful, we can only imagine it would be found in the deepest depths of India. A beloved speckled snake. How Mr. Asogi died. Moving on, we come to the heart of the matter, the grim demise of the victim. How did this young man lose his life, and why? According to the data of which I have been appraised, it would appear there were no visible signs of injury. In fact, the circumstances of the victim's death can only be explained by a terrible venom. Now, if we take that as a fact, we can reasonably imagine that there remains evidence from the scene of the crime. Oh no, could there be? Yes, an examination of the deceased's body will prove the cause of death conclusively. The almost but not quite imperceptible puncture wounds left by the venomous fangs will seal the truth. Yes, the vestiges of the snakebite delivered by your terrifying friend. This makes no sense. This is wrong. There is no point for any ignorance, Miss Pavlova. After the incident, you endeavored to hide everything, didn't you? I think she did it, but she climbed through herself. But now, your involuntary glance betrays the hiding place you chose. This is gonna be like Natasha Romanoff from Avengers. The idea that ballerinas are trained to be assassins. That's right, you have the evidence that links you to the victim's death in that traveling case. When we first met in this cabin, it came to my attention that it case moved periodically. Your serpent assassin was restless inside, no doubt. You don't. It is telling that the victim made note of a low whistling sound that he heard moments before his end. That was your signal, was it not? The sound you had used to train your serpent friend, or B. Stroganoff is the assassin. Yeah, this is just a decoy. B. Stroganoff walked into his room, hit him hard over the back of his neck, because he's really tall and really big and very muscular. He could probably do that. And then left. And then when the ship, brought her over, because that's how she got on board, it was another ship, the door's locked. And somehow we went unconscious because they put something through the ventilators. Because, don't forget, our rooms are connected through the grate. So they put smoke through the ventilators to knock us out. So none of us would realize that someone else had snuck up on board. That's what's really going on here. That was your signal, was it not? The sound you had used to train your serpent friend. To train? Indeed, you'd put the serpent through this ventilator and wait. After a period, you'd summon it back with a whistle. You couldn't know what the animal had done its duty, so you would listen to the signs of life next door. and the victim appeared not to have been dispatched. She released the snake once more. Do deny the snake has undergone such training. It's not true. I do love the snake. The snake wrapping on the guy's head is probably my favorite part about this case. Which is weird because my favorite part about the bird was always landing on the judge's head, and I always loved that too. Having slithered through the ventilator and drawn the bell cord, the creature need only stick its fangs and its venom would course through the victim's veins, ending his existence forever. That is the true nature of the Speckled Band that took the poor young man's life. There can be no doubt, my logic is infallible. Death by a venomous snakebite. This concludes Sholmes' great deduction of the Speckled Band. All the dots. Miss Pavlova has trained a pet snake as a killing machine. There on the floor, you will observe a saucer of milk. The promise of food is the key to training any creature. Incredible. You solved the mystery. Amazing. Your great deduction really lives up to its name. I see now why Sholmes has become such a household name. My dear man, it was nothing remarkable, as the Russians say. I could have done it with one left hand. Huh. She's really smart. Could I venture an opinion, Mr. Sholmes? But of course, what's on your mind? It's just about the deductions before. Some things don't quite make sense to me. I want questions as to my method, and I will answer both proudly and loudly. Oh, well, good. First of all, snakes are egg-laying creatures, part of the reptile family. You are well informed, madam. And reptiles, don't drink milk. Ah! It's really only mammals that like to drink milk, you see. So, I'm not sure it would be possible to train a snake using milk as a reward. No matter. No doubt Miss Pavlova used some other treat to encourage her pet to do the bidding. Milk was really an example. The logic holds. Well, there is something else. Snakes have no ears. Ah. Yes, so I'm not sure it would really be possible to signal to a snake by whistling. But madam, what are the tales from Arabia? Have you not heard of the snakes that dance the sounds of the flute? I think perhaps the performers play the music in time with the snake's natural movements. I never really thought about that. Oh, I see. No hands, no feet, no ears? These creatures are so inept as to be practically useless. Don't take it out on the snakes, Mr. Sholmes. There is one other thing. You have more? Snakes use the scales on the bellies to propel themselves. So, I'm not really sure that a snake could manage to climb up a flat bell cord like the ones in these cabins. Then it should try harder. Please, don't be angry with me, Mr. Sholmes. The point is, even if the snake had gone through the ventilator to the next door cabin, it could not come back without help. What I'm trying to say is that there are a number of reasons why it's difficult to imagine the snake could have had a part in this. Huh. Huh. I think we need to step in and help again, Mr. Nahuatl. Oh no, you don't mean. Yes, we need to modify Mr. Sholmes' deductions and turn them into the great ones they ought to be. I had a feeling that was coming. Alright, let's give it a try. Just what I was waiting for. Mr. Nahuatl. Yeah, Right. So, catch your eyes down to your wrist again. What? How does he do that? You done it again. Your handcuffs are gone. Where did they go? Fear not. I shall see them restored after work is done. Can you not? I really wish you'd leave them off. Now, everyone, let us begin. Our luck Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. Take 2. Course correction. Hold it, Mr. Sholmes. Intruder's identity. Miss Pavlova, moments ago you claimed the following. Is nothing to do with me. The whole thing is nothing to do with me. It reminds me a lot of the, in a trial, the cross-examinations, you know, because it's the witness testimony is the first part, and then the course correction is the cross-examination. Like we're in a trial already on a ship. Weird. I mean, cool. I like innovations, but definitely different than normal. Yet you cannot deceive yourself. Yes, when you recall those horrid events, your aching heart swells with pain. She does have a pained expression on her face. Yes, that's true. She looks as though Kazuma Sama's death is weighing heavily on her mind. But you're not sure Mr. Sholmes has read her quite correctly, is that it? Could there be some other way to interpret her expression then? Let's take a moment and really look closely at Miss Pavlova. It looks like her hand is smarting with pain. Oh, look at the snake in the background. I love this so much. This is the best. And his eye sticking out. Oh, hello. You got scratched. So, is there a cat on board? Oh, Nada-san, look. That looks like a very painful wound. It looks like a scratch made by some kind of small animal. And fairly recently, too. But whatever scratched her doesn't appear to be around here. But that wasn't the answer? Oh, the picture has her holding a cat. She does have a cat. What? Why can't I advance? I mean, what else causing a pain? It's a cat scratch. Why? Oh, because I clicked on it with the X button. I had to press triangle to present. I'm dumb.
Yes!
Yes, when you recall this horrid event, it was a cat scratch. The cat scratch smarts with pain. Indeed, and simple observation reveals that the wound is fresh. Miss Pavlova, did you in fact retrieve that scratch sometime last night? Ah. When I think about the young man who died next door, I feel so sad. And when I am sad, the pain from this wound is vast. And it is that very pain that evidences your inextricable link to the victim's death. So we ask, what was the nature of this intruder that stole into the victim's cabin on that portentous night? Why, naturally, it was your friend with which you boarded the vessel, was it not? Ah, as I suspected, another telltale glance. Without doubt, your friend is the writhing serpent we see before us. Where did the snake come from? It seems like the scratch mark on the back of Miss Pavlova's hand was made by this friend of hers, doesn't it? Except, snakes don't have claws, do they? No, they don't. They don't even have hands or feet of which claws might grow. Well then, if that snake isn't her pet, what is? What's the true identity of that friend of hers? We should follow her gaze, not her, son. That's where we'll find the answer. I already know the answer. I saw it earlier. The picture. Ah, look at the photograph in this frame. It's an adorable kitty. This must be something Miss Pavlova brought with her when she ran away. She's exceptionally beautiful, isn't she? Yeah, that's true. But personally, it's the little black creature she's holding that's caught my eye. Yeah, we better take a closer look at this. Look at the little cat Miss Pavlova is culling here. Oh, what a cute little kitten. It could vie with you, couldn't it, Nahara-san? With the blackest outfit. A black kitten. Is that outfit really black? It looks kind of brownish. And from the look of this picture, at least, Miss Pavlova seems very attached to it. That must be the costume she's wearing. It's quite stunning. I would like to have something like that. And she's wearing the 20,000 rupees on her head as well. Look. It's called a tiara, Narada-san. And you should think of it as in terms of her value. She must be a strong-willed woman. Turning back on the world stage and run away all on her own. Okay, we know what we need to present.
Yes!
I like the glass shattering and the replacement. Like, this is all really well done. Without doubt, your friend is the little kitten we see before us. Yes, the scratch on the back of your head makes that abundantly clear. Oh no. The whereabouts of this black kitten isn't clear, but what is clear is that you brought an animal with you when he ran away, didn't you? Ah. Daka is my best friend. I couldn't leave her behind. Daka would appear to be a Russian blue. And yet, the fact leaves us in a quandary. The victim's written observations on the night in question tell of a speckled band, whereas, regrettably, the specimen's markings do not fit that description in any way. What explanation can we give then? Pray, what was the sight that fell upon the victim's eyes last night? No, don't look at me. This has nothing to do with any of this. Oh, but it does. You have the answer to this quandary even now, hidden behind your back. Yes, that's what you are trying, but failing to conceal. It can only be the snake's slow skin. Did you see that? She just took something out of her pocket and hid it behind her back. If she just left it in a pocket, no one would ever have known. Oh yes, ploys like that are Mr. Sholmes' specialty. He's ever so carefully forced her to reveal something. I thought deduction was his specialty, or maybe making me believe that was a ploy too. Anyway, I find it hard to believe that's the skin of a snake. In which case, what is Miss Pavlova hiding behind her back? Is that? Like some sort of... Well, it is speckled and it is a band, but what is it? It seems to be soft and fluffy, a long piece of cloth of some sort. And that looks like a handle at one end. I think it may be a cat's toy. That sort of thing is common in the West, apparently. How is that a toy for cats? Cats like to chase this band around and paw it. The kids in particular love that sort of play. You only need to wave it in front of them, and they pounce to catch it. Aha, that sounds positively adorable. Cat's toy.
Yes!
Yes, the thing you are trying but failing to conceal is a cat's toy. Precisely, the true nature of the now infamous speckled band. Ah! And it was this that she dangled through the ventilator. You waited around, I presume. Naturally, the victim could not fail to notice it. But why? For what reason? My dear boy, there can be only one answer to that. After a feline friend disappeared through the ventilator into the neighboring cabin, Miss Pavlova attempted to use the speckled cat toy to incite the creature to return. Ah. In summary, the nature of this friend of Miss Pavlova's was last night infiltrated the scene of the crime. Is a blithesome Russian blue breed of cat by the name of Darka. Yeah! A truly troublesome feline, young Darka is proven to be. She must be caged once found. You'll forgive us for borrowing the photograph of your pet, Miss Pavlova. Photograph of Miss Pavlova and Darka haven't entered into court record. Photograph of Miss Pavlova and a friend, a kitten named Darka. The hour she would wear on stage can also be seen. It was after I gave her food last night. That's when it happened. She scratched the back of my hand and then went up the bell cord. Before I could do anything, she had disappeared through the ventilator. Darka, she is so naughty. His identity, a beloved kitten. So, death by a venomous snakebite. Death by venomous snake. Moving on, we came to the heart of the matter, the grim demise of the victim. How did this young man lose his life, and why? According to data which I have surprised, it would appear there are no visible signs of injury. In fact, the circumstances of the victim's death can only be explained by a terrible venom. What Mr. Sholmes says is true. There were no signs of a wound anywhere on Kazuma's body. That's right. But Mr. Sholmes seems to be unaware of one very important detail. Kazuma wasn't poisoned. Yes, it would seem so. Let's get the information he's missing now. Yeah, in our court record, the autopsy report? Post-mortem report. No trace of external injury or poison.
Yes!
In fact, the circumstances of the victim's death can only be explained by the post-mortem report. Ah yes, I knew it was on one or the other. His necklace. Indeed, the breaking of the cervical vertebrae is fatal. Only that Goliath will be strong enough to survive that. Same as Stroganoff is some immortal freak, you know. The jury is out. Anyway, we have on good authority that the victim's neck was broken. Now, if we take that as a fact, we can reasonably imagine that there remains evidence of ferment at the scene of the crime. Oh no, could there be? Yes, an examination of the deceased's body will prove the cause of death conclusively. Kazuma died because his neck was broken. In other words, he was probably struck by something or someone. Yes, that's a distinct possibility. As of yet, no weapon has been found, though. Presumably, Darka didn't creep silently behind Kazuma and deal made a blow. I suppose. It's possible that he had a fall and he hit the ground awkwardly. It could have been a terrible act of misfortune that he broke his neck completely by accident. Oh yes, a bad fall could explain it. It's rather hard to believe of Kazuma-sama, though. He wasn't a clumsy man. Well, we need to fix the deduction here somehow. Is there anything from the scene that could explain what happened? By the way, if you do like what you hear, don't forget to hit that thumbs up to like the video and subscribe. Super duper appreciate you all. Piece of a small glass object and what looks like a scuff mark. I think that's the only thing we have. Say anything. And by the way, I do think I'm going to go until the next intermission, because the intermission we hit at the beginning of this video was only like 8 minutes in. So even though this may go an extra 10-20 minutes, it probably won't go too much longer than that, I would imagine.
Yes!
Yes, an examination of the mark on the floor will prove the cause of death conclusively. This particular mark, so prominently visible next to the victim's body, is a deposit of shoe polish. Shoe polish? Indeed, positively identified by a little analysis device I constructed, which I carry now as a matter of course. Beeswax, tallow, and dye were my results. The undeniable ingredient is shoe polish. And the color of the polish is a perfect match to the color of Mr. Asogi's lace leather shoes. Looking at this mark, it's not hard to imagine what happened. For some reason, Mr. Asogi must have caused his foot at that point on the floor and tripped. Please, no. And, by a dreadful turn of misfortune, caused neck against some immovable object as he fell to the floor. Suffering a fatal blow to the spine, the victim's vertebrae shattered, and in that instant, he lost his life. No! I don't know anything about this. Is that really true, Miss Pavlova? Oh, she saw the whole thing happen, didn't she? She went through the vent. She went through the vent to find her cat. And she saw through the vent the killer killing Asogi. That's what happened. What about the evidence left at the scene where Mr. Asogi lost his life? Yes, the facts are clear as day to me. You did all you could to conceal the incriminating evidence. But now, your involuntary glance betrays the hiding spot you chose. That's right. You heard the evidence that links to the victim's death in that traveling case. I don't believe it. Kazuma-sama merely tripped over and now he is no more? It can't be true. I refuse to accept it. I know it's hard to believe, but the mark on the floor does seem to suggest that what's happened. What? And if this part of Mr. Sholmes' deduction is right, Miss Pavlova is trying to hide some evidence that would prove it. Here in this cabin, somewhere in this direction that she just cast her eyes. Where, I wonder? Let's have a good look around. The answer must be here somewhere. No, I said this in a previous video? Or what about the trash can? There's something sticking out of it. This is a waste paper basket. Perhaps other first cats had them. But Miss Pavlova only saw occupying his cabin late last night. Presumably there's not much rubbish in there yet. There's a bell in there! Oh, what's that? It's a broken piece of glass, isn't it? Yes, it is. And I feel like I've seen somewhere before. It must be for the end of her cat toy. If it looks familiar, perhaps it's more than any mind simply playing tricks on you. So we saw a Speckled Band. She was waving her cat toy to try to get her cat to come back. And he turned to look at the toy. And then it was hit in the back of his head, maybe?
Yes!
That's right, you hid the evidence that links you to the victim's death in that waste paper basket. Ah! Here we have a fragment of an intricate glass object. It would seem one that has a familiar air impact. Precisely, we find another piece of broken glass on the floor of Mr. Asogi's cabin. And as you can see, the two pieces fit together perfectly. Oh no! So, Miss Pavlova, shall we consider what this tells us? Why would it be that part of this glass object, which was evidently broken at the scene of the victim's death, should be found in the waste basket in your cabin? No, I don't think she did it. I think Stroganoff did it. You will acquit it with this glass bell, are you not? That's also why there's nothing in the log for that time period. I don't know. In that hidden Russian accent of yours, what's over this time, dear girl? Why? Because we have conclusive evidence linking to the belt in question. What? Take it away, Mr. Nahuado. Yes. The evidence linking Miss Pavlova in the little glass bell, that would be the cat toy? Oh. It's on the kitten.
Yes.
If you look at this photograph, you can clearly see, hanging from Darkar's collar, the very glass bell in question. Whoa, my bad. The truth has caught up with you, Miss Pavlova. The young man who lost his life last night did so after a truly inauspicious fall. And the cause of that fateful stumble? Your absent feline friend, Darka. I couldn't tell anyone. You see, I told you there's Pavlova's. I'm gonna call this Pavlova's testimony. I'm sorry. Death by tripping over a cat. Really? Really? Stroganoff didn't do it? There was nothing at all about the log or anything? Why don't you tell us now, Miss Pavlova? Tell us exactly what happened last night. It was a little after 1 in the morning. It was so late, but I hadn't had time to feed Darka, so I gave her some food. And then, all of a sudden, she scratched me and jumped out of my hands. People do say that cats become very anxious and nervous in new environment. She was so fast, she disappeared to the ventilator before I could stop her. But is that really what happened? I mean, what about the writing of the wardrobe in Russian? I mean, I did theorize that maybe he did that so the Russians would know we're stuck in there, so that way we wouldn't, like, die in there. But, I mean, it's just... It seems so... And that's how you acquired the rather nasty wound on the back of your hand, I take it. Yes. And what about the trial? Is there no trial in this case? And I read the, verse on the wall. I knew that I was not allowed Darka with me. Yes, modern science suggests that animals can carry infectious diseases. It's a precaution, really. So I listened and listened, trying to hear if there was some noise in the next cabin. It was very quiet. I was sure if someone was there, he must be sleeping. So at that point, you thought it was safe to try to lower the kitten back again by digging the end of the toy through the ventilator and into the adjacent cabin. Dark5 always loves this toy. But it didn't work. Nothing worked. I tried using her favorite toy. I tried whistling to her softly, but nothing. She didn't return. So the faint whistling sound Kazuma wrote about his diary was Miss Pavlova trying to retrieve her pet. Cats have a propensity to remain hidden in the shadows when frightened. Yes, so there was nothing else I could do. I just had to wait until she had calmed down. But then... Not the first time we heard that sound, is it? I think maybe that was in Tyrion Cuthbert. I may have heard that exact sound. I don't know, maybe. Maybe it was this case. I get the two confused sometimes. I nearly passed out with shock. I heard her cry out, and then, oh, it was such a dreadful bang. Then afterwards, nothing. It was totally silent. Kazuma was. On the appearance of the brown mark on the floor, it seems less likely that what you heard is a victim stepping on the glass bell and tripping up. The SS Boya is a large vessel, but even she can pitch and roll violently without warning. And Mr. Asogi was already off balance as a result of the ship lurching when the kitten got under his feet. The combination of unfortunate factors could easily have caused him to fall over. But what became of the kitten afterwards? In the end, I managed to get her to come back through the ventilator. Yeah, Tucker is nowhere to be seen. I must have forgotten to lock my keys. And now she's disappeared again. Gracious, that cat is as insufferable restless as I am. Well, he knows something about himself at least. When I woke this morning, I heard that the young man in the next cabin next to mine had died. But I couldn't bring myself to tell anyone what had happened. I was too scared. Scared that they would send me back. Oh, hold on a minute. What about the snake? You're right. Where is it? If the snake isn't your friend, Miss Pavlova, well, then whose is it and where did it come from? He's fighting it now. What on earth is such a dangerous creature doing on board the ship? Oh, I didn't say. Snake is my friend. His name is Pavlova. What? What? I love the snake. Snake MVP of the case. The snake belongs to you. He escaped from cage when emergency alarm sounded. I was looking for him. I did not expect him to find in here. Yes, how did the snake get into this cabin? But animals are not permitted on board. They are at sea for 1 year. You want to be so long without close friend? Without someone who understands? Can't you find someone a little more human who understands you better? But, my burly dear fellow, go get you his venom snake. Surely you can appreciate the danger you're putting everyone in. No venom. Pavlova does not have venom. He is harmless, very long, but very gentle. He is adorable, like Granny. It's venomous? Yes, now he is hungry, so he is in bad mood. But once I feed him, you will see big smile. And you feed him what? Milk, I suppose? Like they say, they milk chickens? Ridiculous! Snakes that drink milk are only in stupid stories. Pavlova eats mousies, big fat round mousies. So is that what the mousetrap in the passageway out there is for? Oh, of course. How else can I catch my friend's favorite food? Now he says top of the food chain, like the look in the eyes right now. It refuses to drink milk. It can't hear a whistle. It can't climb up a cord. And it's not even venomous. How the deuce did something so inept land a certain rule? It's not my fault. I do not make up stories. My Pavlova has nothing to do with this incident. So that's what happened. That's the truth behind my best friend's tragic death. It's an accident. I can't believe it. That's kind of disappointing. I mean, we didn't have a trial, which I don't mind because it's originally unique, and I'm okay with that because, like I said, there was sort of like a back and forth of witnesses and counter testimony. But at the same time, I think it's just an accident. It's kind of underwhelming. Miss Pavlova, I understand the difficult situation you find yourself in, and I do sympathize. But please remember this. A young man lost his life. If you're going to do an attempt to cover up your guilt with lies, then no matter what the circumstances, I cannot forgive you. What? What are you talking about, Miss Mukatoba? What lies? Miss Pavlova just confessed everything. It was just a series of unfortunate events, an accident. Wait, was my first theory correct? That she is a trained assassin? That she climbed through there and she just set that evidence up to throw us off? I'm no great detective like Mr. Sholmes. I don't have a gift for knowing the truth. But even I could see that was not the truth. Don't you agree, Mr. Naruto? Well, it's definitely underwhelming. To be perfectly honest, yes. There's a discrepancy in Miss Pavlova's story, I'm sure of it. I just can't quite put my finger on it. I confess. I was intending, like certainly are, deal with any outstanding issues on this matter. Oh. I am only present here for a very specific reason. The truth is, Mr. Naruto, you are simply a distraction. A distraction? I do hope you've not been finding your shekels too uncomfortable. Oh, come on! Not again! When did he do that? Especially as they're on your wrist as a result of my intervention. I was rather hoping I could resolve matters before we made our next port call. You were Mr. Sholmes? Yes, but I overlooked one important detail. The deceased young man was a very close companion of yours. Was he not? Yes. Cosmo was my closest friend. I owed him my freedom, even. In that case, we must follow this to its conclusion. No further distractions. You must uncover the real truth here, Mr. Naruto. Yes, whatever that may be. Key to this discrepancy is in Miss Pavlova's story, I'm sure. If I can chase that down, maybe the truth will become clear. The truth about how you really died. About how that scene in cabin really came to be. Alright, I'll see what I can do. Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Naruto. So then, shall we begin? Yes. What we should ponder first is a victim who lost his life in a cabin that was bolted shut from inside. Was this truly an unfortunate accident? Or was it in fact no accident at all? This is what we must first establish in the first instance. But we've already established it, haven't we? The man tripped over the kitten and climbed into the cabin via the ventilator. Tragic, yes, but still an accident. Hold it! Wait, let's just take a step back. It doesn't make sense if that's really what happened, does it? I'm going to have to ask you to spell it out for me, I'm afraid. Yes, it's starting to take shape now. There's a clear contradiction between the facts and Miss Pavlova's story here. Evidence is right there in Cosmo's cabin. It's undeniable. His death could possibly have been a mere accident. Really? Let us show our hand, Mr. Naruto. Time to present the evidence. The evidence that proves unequivocally that the victim's death was no more accident. Could it be this? The fact that I was able to write something? The truth is clearly recorded in this photographic print. Oh! Oh, that was tough. I was so unsure. There's no way that Mr. Asogi could have left this message on the floor. That script, it's Russian, isn't it? Indeed it is. The word written means wardrobe. I see what you mean. Most people would leave a dying message in their native language, Japanese in his case. But maybe he was studying Russian. It is a simple language. He could have picked it up very fast. That doesn't seem likely. That's actually not the point. It makes no difference whether he knew Russian or not. Sorry, what do you mean? Exactly what I said before. There is no way that Mr. Asogi could have left this message on the floor. And the reason why is clearly explained in here. Damage to the cervical vertebrae resulting in instant death. Oh! How did I not see that like multiple times? I completely misread the instant part. Oh. Which means, after the victim fell to the floor, he couldn't have possibly have written anything. How did I not see that for a while? Because it was already dead. That's not the only reason either. There's something else we found in Mr. Asogi's cabin. A remnant of something that couldn't possibly have been there if what Miss Pavlova told us was true. What? So that decides those two then. Putting this special on the floor aside, there's something else that gives its truth away. Another piece of evidence that proves this was no accident. In other words, is it just the bell? No, because we tripped over the cat, right? So because we tripped over the cat, it's not just the bell, because that doesn't make any sense. So another piece of evidence. I mean, it's like, I think the bell's the only thing that makes sense. This piece of broken glass next to the mark on the floor. I mean, it's the only thing that we could possibly click on in this instance, right? But that's a glass bell the kitten had around its neck. We already know all about that. It was broken in half when the victim tripped over the cat and fell. So we already have a satisfactory explanation. What's the flaw in that logic? Unfortunately, there is a very big flaw. A fatal flaw. What? And that's really what happened. Then how did one half of the bell end up back here in this cabin? Ooh. Ah. That's clever. Yes, remember that we found the other half of the glass bell in the waste paper basket. Would you care to explain that, Miss Pavlova? Oh, no. Both these pieces of evidence clearly point to the same conclusion. That when Mr. Asogi died last night in the cabin, there was someone else in the room. That was a cool silhouette. And the same person deliberately arranged the scene to disguise the truth, in order to cover up his or her own guilt. Yes, there was someone else present in Mr. Asogi's. You are wasting time! I only can imagine that stroganoff. Yeah. Someone else was there. Duh, of course, they know this. What are you talking about? Bulkhead was bolted shut from inside. There's no way in or out. Oh, yes. And only other person in cabin when young student died was you. Yes. I like the silhouettes. It's true. I was in the cabin when it happened. You were shut inside the cabin wardrobe, to be precise about the details. But I don't know Russian. There's no way I could have left that message. Not would have. There's no way you could have left that message, to be precise about the details. Would you mind? Ha 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 ha. Forgive me, my dear fellow. As I was saying, the person in question wrote the word wardrobe in Russian on the floor. in an attempt to incriminate me for the crime, even though I had been asleep there the whole time. And then the same person picked up the broken glass bell that had fallen to the floor. For fear of it becoming evidence that would show how Mr. Asogi really died. But why wouldn't this person have taken all the pieces of the bell away? Leaving half behind was always going to raise questions. Yeah, well, it was past 1 o'clock in the early hours of the morning. The cabin would have been quite dark. The single small lamp suspended from the ceiling would barely have cast a light onto the floor there. Little wonder then that the culprit failed to notice a fragment of the tiny item. You all suspect me, don't you? It's a seaman Stroganoff? Nina is woman of sea. She is daughter of strong soiler. 2 years ago, they noticed her dancing skills and she went away to join ballet company. But before, she was dancer on this ship, a member of ship's band. You do not accuse ship's angel of being criminal. Ah, so that's it. You say that when young student died, Nina was there in his cabin. But that is not possible. I give my tooth. Well, this is almost interesting. And why would you give your tooth, pray? How can you be so sure? Huh, you are a great detective. You should know. Look tooth in eyes. Cabin bulkhead was bolted shut from inside. Nobody could go into cabin. Not Nina, not anyone. Oh, you want to tell me the killer can walk through locked doors? Yet, it's impossible. Ugh, he's right. But wait, I've read about this in detective stories. People often tie thread around the door latches so they can open and close them from the outside. Yeah, that's what I said earlier. Thread? Are you stupid? These bulkheads are not bond doors. Certainly not. These are watertight doors, as one would expect to find any modern seamanship. Constructed of heavy steel with not a gap in sight, no threads or needles or magnets could have been used. No, of course not. I thought so too. But Mr. Nahuado suggested it earlier, so... Suzato-san, how could you shift it onto me like that? So, Seaman Stroganoff has a valid point. The cabin door could have been bolted shut from the outside. Not necessarily. What? I put it to you that I could bolt this cabin door without laying a finger on it. And in this very cabin, we can see the traces of the method haven't been used before. I don't believe it. Well, Mr. Nahuado, I believe you know what I mean, don't you? No, because I believe we need the bell, but the bell is on the outside, so how would that work? A way to shut the cabin door from the outside? One way does spring to mind, yes. Do you really know what Mr. Sholmes means, Mr. Nahuado? Yeah, and so should you. Because we've seen it happen. Indeed we have. So, would you care to do the honors, Mr. Nahuado? Point out the telling signs of the method was used to slide the cabin door. Oh, across from the outside. The telling signs. We're not saying what caused the door to slide shut. We're saying what evidence is there on how the door slid shut. And that's the fact that everything is leaning to the left here. Because then the bolt would lean to the left too. I understand. Yes! Look at the bookcase here. See how all the books and things on it have toppled over? This must have happened when the ship made its emergency stop before. Yes, that's right. It's a very powerful vessel after all. When the engines are thrown into reverse, a violent jolt goes across the entire ship. Any small objects that aren't fastened down are bound to fall over. I believe, yes, it's what's known as force of inertia acting on objects. Is there nothing Susato-san doesn't know? Or that isn't in her book at least? Or whatever it's called, the same force that pushed over those books in the bookcase also made something else in this cabin move. The latch. The bolt on the cabin door. Ah. It's very obvious just after the emergency stop that the ship made earlier. We had come into this cabin not long before, and we had bolted the door. But then... Oh, is anyone in there? Shout if you need assistance. Alright, that's Hosonaga. Yeah, I forgot about that. Oh, yes. That's it. When the ship stopped suddenly, the bolt flew across and locked the door. Yeah, it's made of metal, but small and light enough to be moved by the ship's sudden change of speed. Or the force of inertia, if you want to call it that. Are you trying to say that last night, after Mr. Asogi was killed... Someone hit the alarm. Cool animation. I like it. Simple, but it works. The SS Burya made another emergency stop. When I woke up this morning and looked around the cabin, I thought it looked a little odd. All the books on the shelves had toppled over, and all the ornaments. It was almost as if someone had run their hand across the shelves and deliberately knocked over everything. Oh yes, I remember that. And I stood them all up again, didn't I? Then when we came into this cabin, we were surprised to see the same thing in here. All the books and everything had toppled over, just like in Mr. Asogi's cabin. Oh my. Do you have anything to say about this, Miss Pavlova? Yeah, that's what I thought you would say. Are you out of your mind? You say Burya made emergency stop? It does seem a little far-fetched. How could that possibly have happened? Unless you're saying that culprit is actually someone from the engine room. Oh, it's simple enough. Are you forgetting the button in the passageway outside? Used to trigger the emergency alarm. Oh yes, of course. There was a notice, wasn't there, telling you only to press the button in times of emergency? Our dark nights, when the fog is dense, the captain cannot afford to rely on the eyes of his lookout alone. Hence the placement of a number of buttons around the vessel to allow any crewman to raise the alarm. The sort of button one is almost compelled to press to satisfy one's curiosity. Wait, it was you? When the button is pressed, two things happen in the interest of safety. The emergency alarm bell rings, and the vessel comes to complete stop. He's the one who hit it a few moments ago. He was testing a theory. He is actually kind of smart sometimes. As indeed it did a little earlier today. Mr. Sholmes, surely it wasn't you who... As I always say, a button has but one purpose in life. To be pressed, whatever the occasion. Reminds me of the doctor from the, this, which episode was it? You know, the one with the blood, and it's like, the doctor when he regenerates, with David Tennant. His first episode, the Christmas, like, takeover. Sounds almost proud of himself. How dare you mess with the ship? I have reported you to Captain. You are in much trouble now. No, I'm sure we can all wait until later. Let us not overlook the fact that we have now learned a valuable lesson. When the vessel makes an emergency stop, the bolts on the cabin door slides closed. So, what we must now consider. Yes, it all comes down to one thing now. Last night, after what happened to Mr. Asogi, did this ship make an emergency stop or did it not? You are idiots! Burya is huge ship with many passengers. If we make emergency stop, even in middle of night, There would be chaos everywhere. What are your thoughts, Mr. Naruto? Oh, he was knocked out. That's why there's no record, because the entire ship was knocked out. Well, it's certainly possible that some kind of emergency happened last night. We have evidence to support that idea. Really? What evidence, Mr. Naruto? Fascinating. Do show us, my good man. What evidence promotes the theory that some emergency gripped this vessel last night? The log.
Yes!
Teammate Stroganoff. It's your duty to patrol the first class area of the ship, isn't that right? Da, that is correct. Why? And in the ship's log here, this would be where you record the details of your duties? What are you doing with that? That is mine! Ah, you rather carelessly left it atop the little makeshift brewer in the passageway out there. But as responsible passengers, we took it into our care with a mind to return it to you later. I left it there on purpose. That is where I was put it. The point is, looking at what you usually record, it's clear that under normal circumstances, you write the phrase nothing to report every 30 minutes. But from 2 o'clock last night until first light this morning, nothing was recorded at all. Nothing recorded in the log? That is, duh, because nothing happened. But nothing happened, you would normally write nothing to report, wouldn't you? Gulp! Indeed so, which tells us that shortly after 2 a.m., something happened. Here aboard the SS Poria. Ha! Something sufficiently significant to make you forget to fill in the ship's log, in fact. Are you suggesting that the ship really did make an emergency stop in the middle of the night? Stop talking rubbish. Huh. If I am perfectly honest, I find that a little hard to believe myself. Oh, why? Well, because if something as major as emergency stop really had happened, surely all of us would have noticed? That's very true. Thanks to the emergency stop we experienced earlier, we all know what it feels like now. The ship lurched so violently, and the alarm bell was so loud. I can't imagine that anybody would sleep through that, even if it happened in the dead of night. Well, no, that's a good point. What of? The throbbing. Sorry, what do you mean? Your head, man. The throbbing of your head since this morning. We have all suffered with it. Ah. Oh yes, I had a little headache, you're right. In fact, I hadn't been feeling myself since I woke up yesterday, or today. Nor have I. My head has been feeling heavy ever since dawn. Yes, you've all been afflicted, haven't you? Just as I suspected. He's right, my head's been throbbing today too. And since eating dinner yesterday evening, everything has felt sort of hazy. I can't really remember anything that happened after I climbed back inside the wardrobe. Then the first thing I noticed this morning was a throbbing pain in my head. So wait, the cook is responsible? Because he didn't eat, right? He left the chicken for us? I'd already been dragged out of the wardrobe and had these handcuffs put on me by that point. Why didn't I wake up when all that was happening to me? Tell me, Mr. Naruto. You boarded this vessel as a stowaway, didn't you? Oh, well, yeah, sorry. The stowaway class of accommodation doesn't usually include meals. What did you survive on? Well, Cosmo looked after me. He was always happy to share his meals. So, you enjoyed some of the whole roast chicken dish that was served yesterday evening, I take it? Yeah, in fact, I had all of that. Cosmo wasn't fond of chicken. Oh, really? So the victim didn't eat any of the chicken at all? That's right, he didn't touch it. Is that relevant? My dear fellow, does that not strike you? Oh, Mr. Sholmes, do you mean to say that there was something wrong with the chicken? I do. No, really? Is that really true? The meal prepared for the passengers last night had been tampered with. By the addition of a soporific designed to introduce a very deep slumber into those who consumed it. A sleeping drug? Do you mean whoever did this laced every meal with a sleeping drug so that no one would notice the ship's emergency stop? Mr. Naruto, of course that's not what Mr. Sholmes means. What a far-fetched idea. Precisely. Lacing every meal of every passenger on board with a soporific drug would certainly be impossible. Unless, that is, every single member of the crew was a conspirator. What? Mr. Sholmes? A ship of death? Well, seaman. Because if so, they're gonna all kill us now. I'm sorry to say that any more deception in this matter will get you nowhere. If you refuse to talk, there would have to be an inquiry made through the shipping company, of course. And were that to happen, every member of the crew and the captain himself would be hauled over the coals. For aiding and abetting a renegade. Huh. Please, no more. I will tell everything. Oh, I think we finally got there. I cannot pick problems like this for everyone anymore. These crewmen are your former comrades, I believe. Yes, so when I decided to run away, I asked them to help me. We all agreed to help everyone together. She threw away everything, her fame and ability, Mother Russia. We wanted to help our angel. I don't believe it. Yeah, they knocked everyone out, so that way she could board without anyone noticing. But then who killed Kazuma? You are right. We put sleeping dog in chicken last night. Yes, I remember now. I did notice chewing on a lump of something strange and bitter at one point. Da! They could not make old dog. I do say dissolve. Oh, talk about heavy seasoning. At midnight, in waters near Shanghai, we brought our angel on board. She was helped by comrade on shore with small fishing boat. While all the passengers at Suspiria slept soundly. Thanks to the almost magical effects of the slumber-inducing potion that our evening meals had contained. So if that's what happened, the only people awake on the ship last night were the crew, people who disliked chicken, and the newly boarded passenger, Miss Pavlova. And that means it would have been possible for you. You could have used the emergency stop trick to lock Kazuma's cabin door. But how does that make sense? Surely every cabin door would have ended up locked in that case, and there would have been complete chaos. Oh, I wouldn't say so. What? Ah, of course. Just like us, all the other passengers would have eaten their evening meal of chicken in their cabins. After which they would have been overwhelmed by tiredness because of the sleeping drug. Quite. And accordingly, all passengers were already in the cabins for the night. Yes. The overwhelming majority of passengers would habitually sleep with the cabin doors bolted anyway. And so, not one of them would have found it remarkable to find the door locked in the morning. In summary, in order to fasten the bolt of a single cabin door on the ship, the culprit brought the entire vessel to an emergency stop in the early hours of the morning. But that means she wasn't on board when this happened. You have talked long time and said many things. What is the point? The point is what I said earlier. There was somebody else present on the scene when the victim lost his life last night. Someone who left a message in Russian on the floor in an attempt to incriminate another. Someone who tried desperately to hide the broken figments of glass that would reveal the culprit's identity. And someone who abused the ship's emergency stop procedure in order to lock a door. All told, a busy night. But, oh wait, she could have been on the ship already. Yeah, because everyone was knocked out, not to hide the fact that the emergency thing was pressed. Everyone was knocked out because of them picking up the ship. I don't know anything about any of this. I'm just a little girl. You like to speak with your long English words and explain your clever ideas. But I am sailor, and sailors don't listen to long boring stories they don't believe. Sailors like me, we trust only what we see with our own eyes. A laudable trait. What? I am quite the same disposition, my good man. Observation to me is everything. Mr. Nahodo. Oh, yeah? Do you hear it? The accusatory cry of guilt on the wind. And it's going much longer than I thought it was. I mean, that last intermission was only like 50 minutes or so. This one's going a while. What accusatory cry of guilt? So sorry, you've lost me. Proof of involvement, man, but you can't hear such a call with your ears. No, you must see it with your eyes, for observation is the basis of all deduction. What are you talking about? I believe the time has come. For one final logic and reasoning spectacular, to expose the truth. So, Mr. Nahodo, if your assistance, if you please. Man, yeah, it's going much longer than I thought. But we're like right at the end too. Oh, do I keep going? Because if so, this video is gonna be way longer. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, we have to wrap this up, right? With what exactly, Mr. Sholmes? With observation, my dear fellow, just as I said. Are these two prevaricaries? Prevaricaries? Observation? If you don't remember, Miss Sarah, though, we know that somebody tried to fabricate evidence, don't we? By tampering with the scene of Mr. Asogi's death. What we're looking for is some trace of evidence that one of these two was there when it happened. Precisely. You are delightfully quick to grasp my meaning. Alright, I'll see what I can see. We're looking for a trace of evidence that shows someone else was there last night when Cosmo died. So, conclusive evidence? Okay, this isn't what I thought it was. I thought this would be a whole nother course correction like thing. What suggests someone's out there was seen other crime? Oh! Looky, I see an ink stain. Oh, look at this. It's some kind of stain, as in shoe polish, in an unusual place. Yes, you're right. It looks like the ink, if I'm not mistaken. Ink. And look at the color, too. It's clear where this came from. Gotcha. Yes. Seaman Stroganoff. You seem to have quite a large purple stain on the back of your white uniform there. Eh? Oh, yes. I don't know where the dirt comes from. So, nothing in particular comes to mind about the stain. What are you trying to say? It would appear that the significance of the stain has escaped your attention, Seaman. Allow us to make it plain. It's a very large purple stain on the back of Seaman Stroganoff's uniform. And I think what made it is clear. Indeed it is. So, Mr. Nahodo, present evidence that proves it. My pleasure. Alright then. The evidence that proves what the stain on the back of Seaman Stroganoff's uniform really is. Purple ink. Yes! Yes, it's the photograph, and the ink it shows. That's what's on the uniform. Ink? A rather unusual color of ink, purple. Ugh! Ah, the penny drops, at last. Now you see the significance. The Russian word on the floor next to Vic's body was written in purple ink. And the stain on the back of the uniform is ink of exactly the same color. If the ink had been dry, it could possibly have stained the uniform in that way. Which means you must have been present in the cabin in the moments immediately after the ink was spilled. Alright, yeah. It was me. I did it. Everything. Yes! Got him! Huh? I have arranged everything in dead student's cabin to make it look like Valdemar did it. Then I press button to make Boya do emergency stop. And both cabin doors shut. I did everything so no one would expect an angel. Biff, please. So she really did it. He covered up for her. Don't worry, Angel. Let me do talking. It was after 1 in the morning. I was on duty patrolling passageway. Then an angel came to me. She was white like sheet. Biff, please, you must help me. I went with her. The door to cabin 1 was open. When I looked inside, I saw stood a boy on floor. What happened here? Please, don't tell anyone. My little one. My little furry friend. Everything that happened in cabin is like Angel told you. The little kid escaped the ventilator into Mr. Asogi's cabin. And he tripped over it and broke his neck when he fell to the floor? Yes, that is right. Oh man, that's so disappointing. So we just did like an hour of stuff for nothing. Absolutely nothing. Man, that's a kick in the... That's a big disappointment. It really is. It's not... I mean, this case was going so good. Hey, it was an accident. No, it wasn't. Oh, maybe she climbed through the vent like an assassin. Oh, maybe she didn't, and it was actually Stroganoff who did it. I mean, those were all like... Those theories of mine are all infinitely better than it was just an accident. And... I was kind of enjoying this case a lot so far. And if this is the end of the case and there is no trial, then I'm solely disappointed by it, because all of the fan fiction I made in my brain sounded infinitely better than what the actual truth was. And that's sad, because this case actually did something new that hasn't been done before, and it doesn't mean anything. Yes, it is right. So, after the incident when the cat ran away, Miss Pavlova then visited the cabin next to hers, only to find its occupant lying lifeless on the floor. She said she was right when she heard sound and something falling on the floor, and that's when she went to look. No, Angel. The door was not locked, so she opened to look on, and you already know what happened after. There's just one thing, if you wouldn't mind. What? When you went to Mr. Asogi's cabin, Miss Pavlova, was he already dead? Why? I already told you. When Nina opened the door of Student's cabin and looked inside, I was asking Miss Pavlova. Well, Miss Pavlova? Da. Oh. Yes, that is right. I saw him. It was dark and he was wearing black, but he was on the floor, not moving. I was scared. I understand, and I believe you. So is that finally it now? Have we discovered the real truth about Cosmo's death at last? Ah, something really nearly important slipped my mind. Oh, Mr. Sholmes? This photograph. Yes, I took this myself, you know. Okay, and? The cause of death was a broken neck. Therefore, the victim died instantly. And the unfortunate incident that precipitated these events, a kitten on which the victim stumbled. However, if those are the facts, there is one particular area in this photograph that seems to me somewhat unnatural. What do you mean, unnatural? What are your thoughts on the matter, Miss Arda? I don't know anymore! This trial is like, just, like, it doesn't seem to stop saying that it's over when it's not over. Like a Lord of the Rings movie, it just keeps going and going and going. It's like, what the heck is going on here? Huh, oh well. If Cosmo tripped and fell and by some terrible stroke of bad luck broke his neck, which part of this photograph print seems unnatural? The closed fist?
Yes!
Alright, if he really fell due to an unfortunate accident, then his fist just doesn't seem quite right. No, it doesn't. First thing I noticed. And when it be closed, the exact same thought occurred to me. In a fall, one's instinct is to open the palms flat. Yet, here we see the victim with his left hand tightly balled into a fist. Almost, you might say. As though he were gripping something. What do you mean? Simply that I took the liberty of investigating the victim's fist a short while ago. You did? When? And what, pray, do you imagine I found there? My dear fellow. Mr. Sholmes, show us, please. Why, of course, my dear madam. Would I keep you in suspense? This is what I found. Moon prism power? I mean, that's very Sailor Moonish. Oh, a crescent moon with a little gemstone in the middle? Yes, you're right, a crescent moon. It's very pretty, but what does it tell us? Huh, it tells us nothing. I'm not so sure. That crescent moon looks... It looks familiar somehow. I've seen it somewhere before. Is it on the tiara? Observation, Mr. Nahuado. That is the key. What? The truth is out, tantalizing close. But why would he have that? How did the crescent moon come to be in Cosmo's clenched fist? This is the final clue, the last piece of the puzzle. Ask yourself, what does this little crescent moon mean? What significance has it? I mean, but I don't understand, why would she have dropped it? And observe, find the answer with your own eyes. Oh, it was an earring. It's not part of the tiara, it's part of the earring. She has such petite ears among the beautiful hair, like little pink shells. Oh, what's that? There's something dangling down from her ear. Yes, that's an earring. Wait, look. It's a crescent moon. Ah, there can be no doubt now, surely. So do I click this or do I click the other one? She has such... Okay. There's something attached to the left ear. Ah, I expect that's what they call an earring. It's a little piece of jewelry. It really is tiny. Perhaps part of it is missing. Maybe it broke off. So now all that's left is a clasp that attaches the ear. That's the case. It doesn't appear to have noticed that it's broken. But I think we click on this.
Yes!
Miss Pavlova, I noticed that on your ear. Even though you have a metal earring, the decorated part of it seems to be missing. The little ink link holding it must have been broken, I suppose. Eh? What? Well, looking at your other ear, I noticed a crescent moon. Oh. I don't believe it. Now, the missing crescent moon was found in the victim's clutched fist. Clearly, there's only one logical conclusion. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Naruto? Yes. Miss Pavlova, Mr. Asogi must have grasped the crescent moon and pulled it from your ear. Perhaps just moments before we fell to the floor. In other words, last night in Mr. Asogi's cabin, you witnessed the moment when the victim fell with your own eyes. In fact, you were quite literally at arm's length from him. But then the question is, why did Mr. Asogi do that? Why did he pull your earring from your ear and hold it in his clenched fist during his foul moments? Oh no. Angel? No one can protect you now. Please, Miss Pavlova, tell us the truth. Last night, what did you do to Kazuma? Oh. No! When I think about everything that happened yesterday, it is too much. Running away, the fishing boat in the middle of the night, trying to climb onto this huge ship. And then, when I was at least in this cabin and I could relax after this horrible long day. Daka, wait. I couldn't believe it when she disappeared through the ventilator. I tried to call her with this little whistle. I tried waving her favorite toy. But nothing worked. Daka would not come back. What? What are you doing here at this time of night, Inspector? Wait, what? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was a friend of mine. Oh, she's calling him Inspector. I thought she meant Hosonaga. Young man from your country. He was very polite and kind. He helped me to find Daka, and he promised not to tell anyone. But then, when I had my friend in my arms again, and I was going to leave the men's cabin. Just a moment, sorry, but... Oh, yes. I'm sure I know your face. I have seen you somewhere before. Of course. You're Nikolina Pavlova, aren't you? The Russian ballerina. Huh? No, I don't know that name. My heart nearly stopped when he said that. He knew who I was. How could this man from a land at the far way east know a Russian ballerina? Yes, I saw your performance in Japan. The beauty of the ballet made a deep impression on me. But what are you doing on the ship? I'm sure I read that your ballet company was performing in Shanghai at the moment. I can't fool him. I have to tell him the truth, and I hope he doesn't tell anyone. I have no other choice. I see. So you've run away. Please keep my secret. Don't tell anyone. Give me a moment. I could use another opinion here. He's going to pull that card. He's going to call the captain. Why did I think I could trust him? In a moment of panic. Then it happened. Everything at once. It was only a second, but it felt like forever. Wait, I shouted. And then... Stalker jumped out of my arms and down to the young man's feet. And as he turned around to look at me, I pushed him. I don't even know why. I don't know why I did it. I just was scared. And I had to stop him from telling anyone about me. And that's when he went to fetch help from Seaman Stroganoff, was on duty in the passageway. I heard Nina cry out in that on door floor, so I went to her. She was standing at cabin door, shaking like leaf. She looked at me and said, "Help me, Biff. If they find out, I will be. Please, I have nowhere to go." So you decide to help. And that's when you arrange things at Cosmo's cabin to make it look like I did it, so that no one would suspect the passenger in the cabin next door. I went into cabin and looked around to make sure there was nothing to show Nina was there. And that when I find stowaway in wardrobe, still sleeping. Right, that's when he found me. So you worked out a plan to lay the blame on the stowaway. I closed wardrobe doors and put back strange paper saying. Luckily for me, that's the only reason Suzato-san started to believe me when I saw was innocent. I dragged young man's body to good place and used ink that was spilling to write on floor. I wrote a wardrobe in Russian, of course, so that person who found him would look inside wardrobe and find stowaway. And tell me, what did the glass spell? It was by my feet, so I picked it up. I see. But it was dark in the cabin. I didn't notice the other half. Then Angel went back to the cabin, and I finished job. By pressing the emergency alarm button in the passageway? Yeah. Accordingly, the SS Burrier did indeed come to an emergency halt at a little after 2 a.m. Thus enticing the bolt on the cabin door to slide shut, creating the locked room mystery. There's still one thing I don't understand, Miss Pavlova. What? When you said that you told Cosmo about the fact that you ran away from your homeland, and it's because you were worried he was going to tell the captain that you pushed him, isn't that right? But even if he had pulled a bell cord and called for the captain of the ship, aren't you friends with every member of the crew? Why would that have been a problem? It was what he said first that made me scared. What he said first? What? What are you doing here at this time of night, Inspector? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was a friend of mine. He said an inspector was his friend. Ah, yes, meaning me, who was supposed to be acting as his bodyguard. I thought that if the police knew about me, they would arrest me. So, before we could pull the bill card, May I stop you a moment, please, Miss Pavlova? It just doesn't seem to make sense. I mean, was Mr. Asogi really going to pull the bell cord? I don't know. What do you think, Mr. Naruto? Yeah, I was going to get me. Well, I'm not Kazuma, so I can't know for certain, but he was a man of his word. If he told you he wouldn't give your secret away, then he wouldn't have done. No, he was walking over to it. He was going to pull the card. He was going to make them send me back. Well, Mr. Naruto, the day's work is not yet done, it seems. There's one more deduction to make. What? Another deduction? Yes, what action was the victim really about to take at that moment? Can we determine whether the young man's gaze was directed? First, consider the victim's location within his cabin. That's easy, I remember every detail of that room. I mean, yes, I spent quite a lot of time in the wardrobe, but still. That cabin has been my home for the entire voyage. So, this is how the cabin looked last night when Miss Pavlova visited Kazama-sama. Yes, it's exactly how it was. Are you ready then, Mr. Naruto? Yes, if there's one thing I've learned today, that a simple gaze can reveal all manner of truths. And not only that, in order to draw the right conclusion, you can't afford to be out even a little bit when you're following the gaze to where it lands. So, when he turned away from Miss Pavlova, what exactly was he looking at?
Take that!
Cool transition, considering everything that had happened last night. Certainly, it may have looked as though Kazuma was going to ring the bell cord. Yes, however. What is directly beside the bell cord? The wardrobe. The wardrobe. And more importantly, what was inside the wardrobe? The man's great friend, sleeping soundly. Ah. Miss Pavlova, please think back very carefully. What were Mr. Asogi's exact words last night? Give me a moment. I could use another opinion here. Another opinion? Yes, but not from a member of the crew. No, Mr. Asogi intended to consult his close friend on the matter. To see if between them they might be able to help in some way, no doubt. Oh no. Sadly, we can't know the truth for certain now. It's too late for that. But I wish you had made sure of what Mr. Asogi was looking at. Things may have ended up very differently if you had. Miss Pavlova, I want to thank you for finally admitting the truth. But unfortunately, the truth is a man lost his life because of what you did, and that will never change. I hope you'll never forget that. Dagger into the heart. I'm sorry. Really, I'm so sorry. What have I done? The panic girl at 15. Kinda do feel for her. Not like she plotted his murder. It was I mean the wrong word would be crime of passion. Because that wasn't a crime of passion, I don't think, but it's similar to the idea, right? And so at long last, the mystery surrounding the tragic accident at FlightlessBird was finally laid to rest. January 7:14 p.m. FlightlessBird first class cabin passageway. What will happen? What will happen to Miss Pavlova now then? Once we reach Great Britain, she'll be handed over to the British police at Scotland Yard. What about the fact that she ran away from Russia? Will the Russians try to repatriate her? Apparently, the English detective can speak to the immigration office and sort all that out. Mr. Sholmes can do that? So she won't be going back to Russia then? No, I don't think so. Even if she wants to return in the future, I doubt she'll be able to. She ran away, so now she's in exile for life. I see. I'm sorry. Seaman Stroganoff? I want to help our angel, no matter what. But I didn't think about you, about how you lost good friend. I will go with Nina. I will give myself to British police. That's kind of you. Hey! In the meantime, thank you for letting me go free again. Cosmo's death feels like such a waste, but it does feel like a waste. Feels like the ending of Supernatural, which I'm not going to spoil, but the way it ended with that certain event, like all the fans are like, man, that feels like such a kick in the, you know what? That's kind of how this feels. Well, do you know what you can do for Miss Pavlova, don't you? Duh. Well, I'm afraid you need to pack now. We're due to arrive in Hong Kong tomorrow. As much as it pains me, I'm going to have to hand you over to the consul to arrange your passage back to Japan. Yes. I did so wait after all. I couldn't really expect any different. So, you should get back to your cabin now. So this whole trip was pointless. We stole away to go to Britain, only to find us back in Japan with our best friend dead. It looks like my study tour to Great Britain is over before it even begun then. To think that only days ago, Cosmo and I were laughing together about how we tear up the streets of London. That seems like a distant memory now. Unless Sherlock can help us. Oh, what's that? Is it someone weeping? Suzato. Suzato-san? Suzato-san, I didn't know you have returned. Oh, well, I haven't been back very long. Espresso Hosanaga just told me to pack, you know, ready to leave the ship tomorrow and all that. I still can't believe this has happened. I can't believe someone's life can be over just like that. Zato-san. Lord, we gotta take every moment of our lives to be appreciative of what we have. That's why I tell people that they're important and they matter, because they do. Every single person's life touches someone else's. And not just one person, but a lot of people. Yeah, he had such great ideas for his visit to Great Britain, so many dreams. And now they've been cruelly taken away, just as he has. I thought I could never forgive the person responsible. But now we know the truth, that it was just an accident. Just a silly series of mishaps. If it's too much now, Edo-san, it's just too much. Yes, I know. I wish there was something I could say. Is this Sherlock? Nope, Hosonaga. Inspector. My duty was to see Asagi-san safely back to Great Britain. But I failed, and caused his two closest friends great pain and suffering as a result. I've let everyone down. And I will do anything to make up for my terrible blunder. Nobody blames you, Inspector. And I'm free again now, at least. Why am I back in handcuffs? Ha 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 ha. Surprise, Mr. Ahmed. Actually, no, I was expecting you. But why am I in handcuffs? What is the meaning of this? Oh, a trifling matter. Simply that in my head, I think I shall always picture you wearing those shackles. Without them, the balance seems off. It's distracting. Sorry? So I decided to restore them. For old time's sake, shall we say. You are a stowaway after all. Ha 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 ha. He thinks this is funny. Mr. Sholmes. We do appreciate all your assistance. I'd like to thank you from the bottom of my heart. No, not at all. Though it is a little late, may I offer my sincere condolences. The loss of your companion is truly heart-rending. I hope that you will be able to fulfill some of his aspirations in his honor. I'm afraid that won't be possible. We shall be disembarking at the next port in Hong Kong. We have to return to Japan and make a full report about everything that's happened. What? Wait a minute. It's just me that has to go back, isn't it? I mean, I was a stowaway. The terms of the study tour were negotiated by the Department of Justice in both Great Britain and Japan. It was to be one lawyer and one assistant. Was to be? That's very vague. It doesn't say Asogi-san. In light of Mr. Asogi's unfortunate death, I'm afraid the study tour can no longer go ahead. Oh no, I don't care for me, but... Or Susato-san. My dear fellows, the majority of problems have an extremely simple solution, you know. All you require is one lawyer, and the study tour can continue, surely. Huh? But there is no one else with the necessary qualifications, Mr. Sholmes. We know of no other lawyer. Qualifications, you say? Any qualifications obtained in your own country will be of little value in Great Britain, I'm afraid. Oh, but anyway, the voyage to London still promises a good month of time. Ample opportunity, I would say, to find yourselves another suitable lawyer. Yes. Miss Susato? Yes? Do you think perhaps I might be able to do it? Ah! But you are not a lawyer, Mr. Nuramundo. Oh, unless... Are you studying law? No, I'm not, but... I'm sorry, in that case, I don't think there's even a chance it would work. I have won a court case. But as I said, there is still more than a month before we reach English shores. Isn't that right, Mr. Naruhodo? Yeah, I have a month in which to study, to learn what I want to become, to become a lawyer in Great Britain. Mr. Naruhodo? That's ridiculous. Are you seriously suggesting anyone could learn all that in just 40 days? There's only one way to find out. I would work my fingers to the bone, Inspector. Every single day. Will you let me try? And if by the time we reach Great Britain, I haven't learned enough to be recognized as a lawyer, I'll take whatever punishment is deemed appropriate. But why put yourself in such a difficult position? Or Kazuma. He said that there was something he had to do in Great Britain, and that he would sacrifice anything to make it happen. He was passionate about it. I can't let all that passion just come to nothing. And anyway, it's for my own benefit too. I will become a lawyer. I have to. What do you say, Miss Susato? Aw, look at that smile. I think it's a wonderful idea. Thank you. So, what does our bespectacled inspector friend say? Are you serious? One lawyer and one assistant. The numbers are indisputable. No, it's madness. Yet fascinating, wouldn't you agree? Fascinating. Duty and rules are the dull routine of existence that we all abhor. Give us interest, give us fascination. Speak for yourself. Besides, qualifications are no measure of a man. What matters is his character. No? And you've witnessed simple evidence of this man's exemplary character today with your own eyes. From the early hours of this morning until this very moment now. Despite contending with the passing of his close companion, and despite the accusation of a guilt, this man has shown resourcefulness, intelligence, and above all, courage. Very well. I'll think of a clever way to word my report to the Department of Justice. Inspector? After all, I did just make a promise, didn't I? I said I'd do anything at all to make up for my shortcomings here. Oh, thank you, Inspector. If you'll excuse me, I must pay a visit to the captain's quarters, I think. I need to discuss what to do next and how best to make my report. Thank you, sir. Are you really prepared to attempt this, Mr. Naruto? Yes, I'm going to try. I wonder, would you consider teaching me what I need to know? Everything about being a lawyer? I would be delighted to help you. I am a judicial assistant after all. Thank you. Kinda looks like Maya in that picture. And Mr. Naruto, I'd like you to take charge of this. What? Me? Are you sure? I'm sure it's what Kazuma-sama would have wanted. Its name is Kuruma. It's a great sword that's been in Asogi clan for generations. Very well, I accept. I'll treasure it always. So then, Miss Susato, it seems we'll be working together for some time to come yet. It will be an honor, Mr. Naruto. And for the next 40 days, I shan't grant you a single minute of freedom. We shall fill every spare moment with study. Yes, that's exactly what I need. But before we begin, I have an earnest favor to ask of you too. Goodness, what is it? Please throw me to the ground. No. 3 times, no. I know you did that to me 3 times, but I'm not gonna repay Lax Talionis law here. We do not live under Lax Talionis. Hopefully, we do not live under Lax Talionis. Lax Talionis, by the way, is the words eye for eye, tooth for tooth. What? Basically means law of the hand. I should never have doubted you. You were Kazuma-sama's closest friend. Of course, you would never have done anything to hurt him. That should have been obvious to me from the start. But they allowed suspicion to get the better of me. And no matter how upset I was feeling, it was completely unforgivable behavior. No, you weren't shocked. You just found out about me stowed away and I think I missed something. And the cabin door was locked from the inside. No, I won't let you make excuses for me. Whatever the circumstances, I should never have thrown you. And not just once, but 5 times. Really? Was it 5 times? 5 times? 5 times? 5 times? 5 times WCW champion? That number keeps creeping up, doesn't it? Please, you must. Just take hold of me and throw me. Do it. Don't even think about it. No. I don't even know how. I never thrown anyone in my life. Very wise, Mr. Naruto. It isn't a skill one requires without considerable training. Oh, Mr. Sholmes. I observed your throwing technique several times with great interest. I confess I was most impressed. When did you see that? I presume that would be a form of Japanese wrestling. Oh, well, in a way, it's not wrestling, but my own interpretation of an ancient jiu-jitsu technique. Apparently it's called a Susato takedown. It leaves your head swimming, believe me. How beguiling. I'm a practitioner of the combative arts myself. I am a somewhat accomplished boxer. There he goes, dancing around again. I wonder if you'd be so kind as to instruct me on the technique of your wrestling throw. Oh, we have to study. Yes, I'd be honored. Then let's not dally. Demonstrate, my dear madam. Not on me! Not on me! Oh, of course. Are you ready? Miss Sound? No! Sorry. Why am I always upside down? As you can see, you throw from the abdomen. Oh yes, arresting indeed. And that is what you term the Susato takedown, is it? Like I can see him in the corner of a screen and everything is blurred. Actually, no, that was a Susato squash. And my groggy state of consciousness. A scene from an evening recently spent with Kazuma flickered in my mind. Kuruma. That's right, it's a bright sword that's been passed down through generations of the Asogi clan. Can't believe you managed to get permission to bring it with you. I mean, taking the katana and Saito is more than a little irregular, surely. A Japanese man's sword is the soul of Ryunosuke. I can't be parted from my katana. Kuruma guides me. I truly believe that. So his name compels its wielder to slice evil in two? Not that you would need much compelling. On that subject, there is something very important that I have to do in Great Britain. And I'll sacrifice anything to make it happen. I'd appreciate you seeing it through with me. Of course, I will. Whatever it is, I'll see it through to the end with you. I knew you wouldn't let me down. Wonder what it was. That important thing you had to do. I still don't know what it was. But I'm going to see the place for myself and work it out. In Great Britain's capital, London. Never mind to Professor Layton's ancestors or something. That'd be cool. And I have so many emotions about this case. They're all over the place. Like, seriously, they're all over the place. Crash Course Canon. Like, just so many emotions about this case. I don't even know where to start. Because, I mean, it's just one of the things of Unbreakable Speckled Band. I mean, it's just one of those things of... I really love the characters. The characters were really cool and pretty amazing. And all of them were really well done, I thought. The introduction of Herlock Sholmes was really well done. The dancing deduction game we play is actually really inventive and very cool. This case is unique. And two factors. One, it wasn't a planned murder, and two, it wasn't even at a trial. It all took place on the boat. So there was no judge or anything. I think this is the only other case. I think this is the only case that the murder was accidental. Okay, maybe it wasn't accidental. I don't think she really meant to kill him per se. Like, I think she was just in shock that she pushed him. I think she meant to, like, knock him out or do something with him, but I don't know if she meant to kill him. And so maybe it was intentional that she killed him, but at the same time, I feel like this is sort of like a gray area. That doesn't excuse what she did. However, I have two major problems with this case. First major problem with this case is Kazuma died for really no good reason. I mean, Kazuma died just so that way we could become the lawyer. And I don't like killing off a character like that just for the sake of expediency. Is that the right word? Or convenience? It just doesn't sit right with me the way he died. And I didn't like it. I thought having an assassin was a better idea. Because if you had an assassin go after him, then you had this mystery for like a couple cases. Who is this mysterious shadow behind the scenes that would want to kill our best friend Kazuma? Like, what is it they're trying to stop? What is it they're trying to stop between Britain and Japan? I just thought that if it was the assassin who did it, it would have allowed for future storytelling. But now there is no future storytelling here. It's just, oh, well, now we're the lawyer instead of Kazuma. And it really didn't establish anything like the first case. I mean, the first case, that woman is going to Britain and we're going to Britain. So I pretty imagine that something's going to play out there with that. But in this case, I feel like this case, except for the death of Kazuma and us becoming a lawyer, could be forgotten and wouldn't matter. Like, you literally could skip this case and just say that Kazuma died in an accident on the way here and Naruto took over. And I don't think you would actually miss anything. And the worst thing that you can do is be forgettable. That's like the biggest crime you commit, is to be forgettable. You never want to be forgettable. And I feel like this case is forgettable. Which sucks because I really like the characters. I just thought the case itself wasn't... Especially with all the up and downness in the case. Oh, it was an accident. Oh, no, it was this. No, it was an accident. No, it was this. It's like, I just thought that went on entirely too long. And I mean, this video is like 2.5 hours. And that's another problem with this case is the pacing. The last intermission will happen after 50 minutes. And within 8 minutes of this video, we hit that intermission. And then after we hit that intermission, I'm like, okay, we'll go another hour to the next intermission. There should have been an intermission in that last block. That last block is really long. And I'm just going to keep the whole video together. But there really should have been an intermission halfway through there. Maybe the intermission should have been at the real truth. Although that was only like 50 minutes ago. Yeah, that would have worked. You had an intermission where they're like, wait, something doesn't add up here. And then you have an intermission, then you come back and then you figure out, okay, what the second half of the case is. That might have been a better way to break it up. But anyway, my name is FlightlessBird. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What did you think of this case? Did you thought it was a good case? Did you like the characters at the very least? If you didn't, if you did like the case, why did you like the case? I'm someone who just thinks that this could have been done better than it was. Like, I really feel if there was the assassin storyline, it could have been better. But regardless, I hope you guys have a wonderful, fantastic, amazing, awesome day. Until next time, on a continue blind let's play of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles adventures. So long, and take care. Thank you for watching this video and being the #1 YouTube community in all of YouTube. Feel free to comment on what you saw and what you would like to see next. I always love to hear from you. And remember that you matter, you are brilliant, and you are loved. Always be true to yourself and never let the world tell you any different. Much love to you from your friendly, feathered, flightless bird.